Hi guys, welcome to the live show Unscripted with me T, and with me today is a fantastic woman. I fondly call her Black Diamond, and her name is Ogunlami Adetoun. She's a social media personnel, and I have so much respect for her. So let's wait for her. She'll join us soon, and let me tell you a bit about this show. This show is a show where we share your story as honestly and as openly as we can, with the aim of breaking the norm of silence, actually, because we feel everyone has a story, so it's just normal, it's just right for you. So come forward and tell people about your story, just to encourage them and let them know they are not the only one going through that. You have gone through that too, and you survived that. So we just need to be a source of inspiration for one and other. Yes, it's like our guest is actually around.
Hi.
Hi, so good
Hello.
afternoon. I'm
Good
here to see you.
afternoon.
Hey,
I
good
can see you
afternoon. How
now.
you doing?
I'm fine,
How
thank
you
you.
doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. With us, like I said earlier, with me today is a fantastic lady. I call her Black Diamond actually because is she not diamond? Yeah, it is. Yeah. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I really appreciate it. And today
Mm-hmm.
our topic is going to be about being a dark skin girl. And the first thing
Ooh.
I have for you today is I really don't know if you feel there's a difference between being called a black girl and being a dark skin girl.
Mm, I didn't get that question. Please come again.
Like I don't know if it has ever I don't know what comes to your mind when you are being called black girl or dark skin girl. Do you think there's any difference between those two?
No, not necessarily. I don't think there's any difference, basically. It's still the same thing. I just feel like it's how people can best describe what is easier for them. So they use either words, whichever one they prefer. But personally, myself, I don't think there's any difference when they say, oh, black girl, dark skinned. It's still the same thing.
So
I
you
mean,
consider yourself okay.
I consider myself what?
You consider yourself a dark skin girl.
Yes, I am. I mean, it's like, it's like you saying that she's yellow, she's fair. This one is brown. This one is, I don't think it works that way. You're dark or light. Do you understand? It now
Yeah.
depends on the shade that you have, like whether you're very dark or, but it's not like, oh, this one is black, this one is yellow, this one is brown, this one is red. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. So have you ever considered bleaching in any form, like intentionally, like
Oh my God. I'm not going to lie, because if I come here and start saying that, at no point did I, not like I actually thought about it, but it's something I would have been like, ah, shame you, kukuni di yellow by abi, which one is also, because it's really annoying, you enter somewhere or you're somewhere and they're like, oh my God, you're really dark. You are black, oh. You are very, very it's okay to say, oh, you're really dark or you are black. But to continue laying emphasis, oh, you're really
lay
black, oh.
emphasis on it, like you're
Some people will not. There was one time I went to greet a man in his office. That was like when I was like in SS2 or SS3. I went to buy something.
okay.
So this man, he had approached me for that we should be friends and stuff. So that day when I wanted to buy something, that's like his area. So I just decided that, oh, let me stop. Then I stopped by to say hi, and he was like, "Oh, how are you?" And then his friends came and was like, "Ah, meet my small you." Do you understand that kind of stuff? Ah, Omo you dudu o. Oma dudu ke. Abo orini. Ah, she's black. Oh, black oh. You are very black. Do you understand? I'm like, thank you. When they started, I'm like, God, again. I mean, even in secondary school, I'm not gonna lie. There's sometimes that people around will be like, oh, and or they try to use that instance to like, throw shades at you or something like, oh, you are very black, you are Kineko. And yet, truthfully, growing up, black wasn't necessarily the ideal definition of beauty. It's now that people are more, people are open to the idea that, oh, this person is fine, this color, everybody's saying, oh, I'm melanin, popping, all those kind of. Then growing up, it wasn't like that. People that were black looked like death. Like, people didn't understand the reason why you were dark, or the reason why you be that dark. Or even if you were dark, you were not termed beautiful. Like, you needed to be some kind of color before people can say, oh, she's pretty and all that other stuff. So, I mean, it can affect your self-esteem, to be honest. But maybe because of how I grew up, I have a lot of elder sisters. Like, it's a large family. I have 5 elder sisters and a brother. So I'm the darkest. Nobody's as dark as I am in my house.
Okay.
Everybody's light skinned and all that. And so it was just like nobody made it like a thing. My granddad is really dark, so I felt so everybody didn't make you look like, oh, you are really different. I mean, except when we are throwing bands or shades at each other that really really oh, do understand all those kind of stuff. So I grew up with a lot of confidence, like, around me. So it was never something that I felt bad about, that, oh, I'm actually dark. Sometimes those occurrences happen, but it was just that at the end of the day, I mean, I'm dark, so what? What do you want to do about it? Do you know, even in uni, there was a particular time I didn't. It didn't necessarily say bleach. It just said tone, like brighter. I mean, what's the word? I can't remember. I'm like, it's just for dark people. And I bought it. And that time, I was getting light. Like, a lot of people were even telling me that, what are you using? Your skin? I like your color now.
Did you do that intentionally?
Like, when I bought that cream, it wasn't like intentional, but I would, at some point at the back of my mind, I knew that this thing might change, might tone your skin to be brighter. Okay. Do you understand? And so when it started happening, I'm like, I could intentionally wanting to do it, or maybe somebody's always on your matter. Now say, let me try. The moment you start, it can be can suck you in.
Yeah.
Do you know what made me stop then? Because it wasn't too much. It wasn't doing everything. My friend wrote bronzer that year. She even remember. She was one of the people that was like, guy, why? Do you understand that you're really getting ill, that you should? And another thing that gave me like a wake-up call was the fact that I was breaking out. I'm very, when you see me, I love my skin. My skin is like gold. I don't play with, shea butter, coconut oil, all those things. I always have cleanser for this, cleanser for that, face cream for this, face. Like, I have a lot of all those face routine that I do. And so when I started breaking out, I didn't understand. I'm like, it was a lot, like, You could, before, when I'm breaking out, even if I have like pimples or something, I even used to have pimples. Even if I now have, like, you won't even quickly notice that there's a blackhead or something. And so all those periods, I was always like, I could see all the dots and everything. I'm like, hey, so it was like trying to do everything that I could to make it stop. Do you understand? Okay. So I started, like, I went to the chemist, complained about it. I got some cleansers back. I already had like a ritual for face. So I knew all the things I could get. I knew I had to stop the cream. I knew I had to stop the soap. So, yeah, that worked. So the fact that when I started treating my face, I was getting a bit darker back and everything was clear. I just knew that, don't do it. Like, don't do it. Even recently when I went to look for cream,
trying to get your color back, was it that easy? Was it all that easy to go back to your normal color?
It was because I didn't bleach. It was like a toner. It just made me brighter, like not so dark. So it was something that, immediately I stopped and I started using all the, and another thing about the face is that because you use a lot of like cleansers and all those stuff, those can also make your skin tone change. So that might not be intentional too. You might want to use like, let me try this cleanser. And the moment you start using it, you become fairer. You see that your neck and your face is not aligning and all. So all those things too can change your skin tone. Exactly. I saw that cream recently, that bronzer. I'm like, this cream. I
can see someone mentioning that like bronzer that year. Okay, and it's quite true. Like
Exactly.
when we were back in school, like back in secondary school, we had this
Yep.
pageantry shows, and they will select individuals from each class to either represent the school or the class. But I noticed that most times only the fair girls get to be chosen. Like, so my
Exactly.
question to you now is, have you ever been deprived of something you really felt you deserved or you were qualified for, but because you were dark, they had to, okay, push you back or something like that, or you lost the opportunity?
So I'm somebody that naturally I do not like I don't take corrections very like to
Okay.
correct. It's okay for me to say, thank you for correcting me. It's just now I'm learning to be better. I would feel some sort of way that you are actually correcting me. So because I knew that, I always avoided situations that kept me in that situation that, oh, no, you cannot apply. So I'd rather be behind the scene, probably the brain behind, oh, what questions can we ask this contestant, the organizers of the pageant, than actually volunteering to go for the pageant. Do you understand? It's just like NYSC too.
Yeah.
When they wanted to do pageant and everything, I done one Miss Perry one time with only like that. I learned, how to catwalk
Okay.
and some other things. I volunteered to teach them how to catwalk for I've forgotten the name of that thing during camp, that night stuff. I volunteered to do
Yeah.
that. But I didn't put even when they were like, won't you? I didn't put myself there. I didn't want a situation whereby, you know, she's dark or Kineko. And some people are very
Is
rude.
that
You might probably use like I had that issue too in uni. You might probably use like a lipstick color or a makeup that you feel like you feel very confident in,
okay?
and then you go out and people are like, why would you use this kind of makeup? Why would you? Do you understand all those little things? I mean, you must be very confident, but you cannot lie that it won't get to you at some point.
It gets
So, would
okay.
you say as my color deprived me of some things? Yes, I went for a um like interview kind of one time during
Okay.
NYSC. And then the man that was supposed to like introduce us to everybody, it was more like a favor. It was doing somebody a favor based on, do you understand? And when I went for
Yeah.
that interview, my friend followed me. Let's leave her out. My friend followed me, and when we went, so while waiting in the reception for the other lady, I think the HR and everything to come on, then the lady now came and was
Okay.
like, hi, what are you people doing here? We're like, NYSC, we are looking for a people, somebody. We came through, mister. Then the man came and was like, yeah, I just want to know if there's any available space for them to, She was like,
Okay.
there's no space, there's no space. First of all, women are their own problems. The way women we treat ourselves, like, there's always like, I see somebody is trying
Yeah.
to,
True.
but
True.
that's
True.
aside the point. Then the next thing she says, there's no space there. Even if at all we're to consider, like maybe pick for just something, we'd rather do the fair person. We don't need like a dark-skinned person. And so the man was like, that's a very wrong thing to say. Like, what has their color got to do with if at all you must pick, it's better to even pick based on maybe you give them like
Yes, based on
an assignment or something. You don't just conclude that, oh, I
based on
guess it was
skin
like a
color. Then
presenting thing. I guess it was like a presenting thing. I don't know. And there's this illusion to that fair fits the camera better. The only time a black person might be lucky is if you speak properly, like they like the way you talk. They might say, oh, it's not
they
so
like the
bad.
way you speak.
Exactly. That's why all these, I just go back, they get more chances when it comes to, the media,
Yeah.
radio,
True.
because of the accent. So if you're dark skinned, that's the only reason why you might get lucky. And that day I felt, I don't know if I felt bad or angry or I mean, this is my friend. Imagine if I didn't have enough confidence. I might feel somehow toward my friend
Yeah.
and say, okay, maybe when we are going out, we will not go together again or something. Or do you
Exactly. Because
understand?
it's
Because
bad
for
blood.
them,
Yeah.
do you get? But I'm like,
Skin
when I just
color.
got
Like
home,
why?
I just told my sister and my friend, and they're like, it's one of those things. It happens. I'm glad that you've experienced it firsthand, so that next time something like this. How? Why?
Yeah.
Do you understand? I don't know, but I feel like it
So
gets
do you so
better.
So do you think this whole analogy about okay, fair ladies are good, they are good looking, they actually put more reference to fairly. Do you think it has something to do with our history, like all this racism or racial history in any way?
Yeah, it does in a way because, in as much as we say Black Lives Matter, the black and white slavery and all those things, see, white people have savior complex naturally. So even if you're not like white or dark per se, you're Nigerian, African, but you are lighter, you
Yeah,
still feel some sort of savior complex to your darker person. You still feel like you get to walk into more opportunities than a darker person. You get, which is the reality. It's now that things are getting better because people are speaking up and people are embracing, oh, I'm melanin, I'm
their
dark,
color,
I'm
yeah,
this,
their
I'm that. But it
identity.
wasn't always like that. Do you understand? So the analogy that you
Yeah,
asked is true. A lot of people feel that, oh, this person is lighter. I feel like she would work better. Say too that I'm trying to get the angle. You're dark skinned or something, or they can tell you that, oh, because you're dark, you shouldn't have worn like a black clothes. Trying to get the camera angle, it's crazy. I'm like, so because I'm dark, you cannot get like the camera angle. Even I myself, I can get a proper lightning if I want to. Then you're making it look like
but we are actually black. Whether you are light skin, you
you
are dark
get,
skin. We are all
yeah.
black, like we are all Africans, so automatically we are blacks. It's just the skin tone that is just different. So I don't get why we have to discriminate among
I
ourselves
feel
in a
like
black community, and we have the guts to okay to protest like okay, Black Lives Matter in another country, and why we are actually not encouraging or appreciating ourselves in our own society. Yeah, like it's quite crazy, really, really, really crazy.
you can't really blame some people. It's the system they met. It's not their fault. They grew up in that kind of system, so it just passes on. You need somebody, change starts with someone. You need somebody to actually decide that, oh, this doesn't work, we should try this, and which is happening now. Look at Beverly Nye recently when she did that Skin documentary. See how a lot of people
Yeah,
accepted it. See how a lot of people, it started a
yeah.
conversation. See how people like, yeah, this is true, it happens. Like there was somebody in the documentary to echo Adele. She was like she's light skinned and sometimes she has that issues. Sometimes maybe light skins do too because they undermine their work. It makes them feel like, oh, you just got the
Yeah, like
flow
your
because you're
beauty is all you
fair
have
or
to offer.
something. Do you get? So
Something.
it's fair, but I feel like they should stop comparing. It's just like when you say Black Lives Matter and you say White Lives Matter too. The subject, the issue here is not whether all lives
It's not
matter.
about
The issue
yeah,
is Black Lives Matter. So I feel like they should stop,
yeah.
in as much as these fair people, they have their own struggles. That's not like the case. The case is about how Black people,
It's about you get it. Yeah.
exactly, like my friend said, we should do better generally as people. So we've met that system. It's something that it continues. Now that things are getting better, and that's because of a lot of Black women. When I say black now, I mean Nigerian dark women are breaking the norm that it doesn't have to look like this. Look at, Beverly again, look at Ini Idima, look at Kate Enshon, look at
Yeah.
Funke Akindele, look at, Omoni Obo, look at those people. They are changing that, oh, we can do this kind of thing, we can do this kind of, even presenters,
Mm.
we have dark people now. You can, I don't need to be
Yeah.
fair before, I can
You can
pass
actually
my
accept
message
me.
across.
Yes.
And when they do that's one of the reasons I like Beyonce, even Rihanna. They are very inclusive. They're thinking about,
I
oh,
think our
dark
network is
skin,
getting
very
the okay.
black, dark skin, very black, very
Okay.
fair, the skin pigmentation, like Lego. They're being inclusive in whatever they do now. And that is why I feel like some of the people in the entertainment industry in Nigeria are also doing. They're trying to be inclusive. Trying
Okay.
to
Yeah.
work with a lot of people and not make it look like we're just focusing on. But it's still happening. That's the reality. It's still happening. Now, I feel like
Happening.
sometimes I feel like some people do that
Okay.
to me sometimes now. People like, oh my God, your skin is so nice for a dark skinned person. Oh my God, I like your teeth for a
Why
dark
does it
skin.
have to be for a
Why
dark
do you
skin?
need to compliment me and put my color?
For a
Why
dark
can't you just say,
yeah.
I like your
Oh, you
skin?
look
Oh my
good. I like
God,
your
your
skin.
skin is really nice. Why do you need to put for a dark skinned person? Do you get it? So I feel like if you
Yeah,
want
I
to, sometimes
understand.
I'm not trying to be rude, but I feel like if you want to compliment me well.
Compliment me
Don't
based
do
on who I am, not
because of for a kinekan. Oh, your hair is really long for a kinekan.
for
Your leg is kinekan. I mean, there was one time I went to when I started having a lot of confidence, I already started having confidence again because of the setting I grew up with. When it
okay.
dawned on me that this really works is when people stopped comparing to compliment. They just complimented based on they're complimenting that they like this stuff. And
You
then
like
one time
it.
I went to the bank, like I was in the toilet, after I was trying to, wash up and spray paint and do everything. Then this lady too comes down. She's like, "Oh my God, I like your skin. It's really nice. My daughter is like you. I would like to know, like, what do you use? Kiniko. So I tell her every time that she's beautiful. She doesn't believe me. Da, 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 da. Do you understand? I'm like,
Yeah.
Immediately, as I was leaving the bank and everything, I was like, yeah, you got it, girl. Work it. Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
like, you get those are part of things that matter. I don't know. It's just the way we met ourselves.
So if your daughter decides to bleach, like okay, you get to have a daughter, what will you tell her? Like, as it comes to you, I'll be like, okay, mommy, I'm not
In
so
a,
comfortable with my skin. I want to bleach. What will be
in
your
as
words for her?
in as much as when you grow up, you're allowed to make your own decisions because I made
Yeah.
some decisions myself. Mommy, you don't understand. Whoa, bida. Kò lè bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Cannot even say it. The least, because why I feel like she won't want to say that. I want to build a communication with my daughter that, they can be free to tell me anything or whatever.
Anything, yeah.
But I will bring her up or them up in such a way that they embrace their identity, they embrace their color, they are proud. Because their mother is very proud. So it's not a question of, because in a world full of look at me girls, my daughter will be like, yeah, I'm the boss. Look at me. Do you understand? Check my
Exactly.
black
Yeah.
skin out. Do you get? So I just feel like it's the upbringing. When you train somebody, when you've blessed someone with so much compliment, so much pride, so much, when you constantly tell somebody that you're beautiful, that's why sometimes you wake up, look at the mirror, hype yourself. Nobody's going
Hype
to hype
yourself.
you. Hype yourself. When you train your children in that
True.
situation whereby you're like, they're
Yeah,
fine.
so they'll be
You're
very confident in
see,
themselves.
sometimes people look at me, I can just stay. That's why I like to make band videos because I can just stay and be like, pushing down. You understand? Look at lips. See,
I
even
see
my
all of
lips
that in
too.
WhatsApp
Even my
status.
lips too. I wasn't really freaked. I didn't used to really like. I'd be like, it's too full. Why is
Why
it
is
too
it
much?
people?
But funny enough, that's
But
what
there's
people
so
are
many people
keen
that
for
go through
now.
surgery just to have this full lip.
Do
Do you
you
know that
get
so many?
it? So the word we adjust basically. You just do you. Whether they like it or not, they will adjust. What you feel
I
like you don't
just
like about yourself,
exactly.
somebody else will adore it for you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Somebody else will love it. Somebody would tell you constantly that I like this your lips.
I
So
like
yeah, it was when it became a thing for me. It was when fresh out. I was still in secondary school, but yeah, kind of fresh out of secondary school. People will be like, I like your lips. So, that your Blackberry and all those cameras when we're trying to set down. The comment I get most of the time is, I like your lips. And I'm like, Jonathan, I'm like,
really.
oh, let me go back. So I said, then I found out that, I like to gloss my lips a lot. When I gloss, I like the way it just stays. When I use some
Works.
certain lip colors, I like the way it's just bold. And I'm like, lips, they're bad, though. Work it, girl. Work it. So I think like that's how it is. Yeah.
So would you trade your skin for anything, like your skin color for anything in the world? Like
At all, I wouldn't. I mean, if you had asked me this question like 10 years back, I would. I might have been
yeah,
inclined to,
okay.
but now I wouldn't at all. At all. For anything, I wouldn't.
You would not.
So I
So
just feel like, yeah,
and there's this question I would have asked since, but I don't know, it skips my mind. And the question is, why do you think dark skinned people bleach? actually, like the real thing behind it. Like, why would I wake up one morning as a dark skin girl and say, I want to bleach my skin? I want to look like so person. Because I feel once you are into this thing, there's no going back. Like you can people believe, okay, if I can change, why do you have a problem with me changing my skin color when I can always change my nail color, have a
The
haircut and all like that?
yeah.
And I'm always like, these are things you can always get these things back. Nails will grow back, your hair will grow back, but your skin, once you tamper with it, once you are so intense with this bleaching, there's no way you can actually go back to your original color. Like you have to just make up your mind and be like, okay, whether I grow worse or anything, I'm going to wait and take my time to like go back to my original beautiful and dark skin color. Because personally, I feel dark skin girls actually very beautiful. You don't need to stress yourself over cream. We light
Yeah.
skin like this. I cannot just wake up one morning and pick one cream and rub my body. No, I'm going to hate myself, literally. But that skin people, I just
Yeah.
say, just pick any cream, rub your body, you're good to go. But we have to have one particular soap we use, particular cream we rub.
But
So I
you
want to
people
know
also
why
need to you also need to change the notion that because I'm dark, I'm low maintenance. Not low maintenance per se, but I can use any cream. No, it doesn't work that way because for you to be dark is one thing. For you to glow is another thing.
it's
So you can't
that
just
thing.
pick whatever you want to be. You have to be deliberate about what you use for your skin. Because when you pick anything, it can be ash on your skin, it can bleach your skin.
Yeah.
What you're trying to avoid, it can do all those things. Yeah. But so back to your question, it's not my intention to talk for other people. I'm supposed to be able to talk for myself alone. But to
Yourself.
be honest, the root of this thing is attention.
Hmm.
Attention. When you don't have enough confidence, when you have self-esteem, low self-esteem, attention becomes your next best thing. Guys, not all guys. Again, people are getting, I'm looking for the right word. People are, more inclined to the idea that black is beautiful, black beauty, black is shining. Adumadon. Do you understand? Because
Yeah.
look at music videos. It's now that they are inclusive. Before, it's usually always when they're trying to describe sexy girl,
Always light skin.
Chige. So here's the thing. I'm a girl. I'm just growing up. I like this guy. This guy doesn't like me. And it's not even that he doesn't like me because of character. He doesn't like me because
Okay.
he doesn't like me
Because of that
because
skin.
I'm like he's going for Jennifer. Jennifer is very light. I'm like, boy, he must notice me. Do you understand? Next best thing, because I am growing up and I do not know better, the next best thing is maybe if I try to be light like Jennifer, you would eventually notice me. Do you understand?
Wow.
Because most times when you ask, it's always attention. Some people, I mean, in as much as we have do what makes you happy, what makes you feel more
Yeah.
confident, and it's still attention, self-esteem,
That's
attention.
right.
This guy or the person I'm dating would prefer if I'm a bit brighter. I won't say
Brighter.
light, brighter.
So
That's how
why
it
does all this
starts.
okay being bright go back to being light skin? Because that's the narrative most of our skin therapists push out there. When I see someone, they'll actually make a collage of the before and after. Then I'll see the person was actually dark. Then now the person is light. Then they'll write she's glowing, and I'm like, so for me to actually feel okay brighter or look brighter, so I have to look a bit lighter than I am. Like that narrative is something I'm not so comfortable with, and I know you must have issues with that. So I don't know if you have anything to say concerning
Funny
that.
enough, I don't. I don't because at the end of the day, they're selling their market. And then, in as much as they are selling it, they didn't come and force it down your throat that you must buy my cream.
You must buy
Some of these
it.
things are even, editing. Like, and also, like, it's just probably some good filter and sunlight. Then they'll come and say before and after. It's angles, baby. I can snap picture now and decide to edit it and do and come back. So, okay. So sometimes it's not even. But at
Okay.
the end of the day, they have to eat. They have to sell their market. So choice.
Okay, so can you please take us back the memories, like share your experience with us on things that you've experienced as a dark skin girl that got to you or probably that made you feel special. network.
say this particular part, but like it's not about him. I'm
Yeah.
just saying he said one of the things that I like the way he says that when he's like, I don't want to use Oriki, but yeah, Oriki is the best I can describe it.
Okay.
Admadon, but she tell us that you now be,
You don't
yeah,
be feeling
that's
yourself.
me. Yeah, you understand? That also works. I like another thing that makes me feel good. I like the way people are now embracing it. Like, oh, melanin popping. They will now write caption just to show you that they're really feeling
Just to-
themselves and everything. Look at this girl now, the Auditi. I don't know if you know her. She's
Mhm.
bowed. She does a lot of videos and she's always hyping herself like black girl.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at. Do you understand? So I feel
Yeah.
like I personally I make myself feel good because I like to hype myself a lot. And even if now, right now, I can be a bit upset, but it won't get to me that much. Like if somebody still says, Kai, you are very black and yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but all the best, my dear. All the best too. There's no time for get.
Yeah.
I mean, it
So at
still
what
happens.
point?
Like some people still look at it. Some people still look at you and like, this girl is dark. Oh. People can't help themselves. It's just the way me too. I see somebody that probably has bow leg or that has something that I would notice. I'm like, I say, girl, you there. People can't help themselves at the end of the day, but you just have
Yeah.
to. You have to like, what's that word? You have to give unlearn. You have to unlearn that.
Okay.
People are not. God created every person. They are
Everybody to
even bow
be
leg now. It's like
unique.
they should go and stay under
Yes.
the knife and straighten their leg. Who are you
Oh,
for you to now decide that for them and everything? So yeah, unlearn, relearn, learn. That's just the best thing because the way we grew up is already in us. Now, spirit to just see something I want to talk, mind your
yes.
business. If you cannot give a good comment, shut up.
Then
If
you
I
just
thought
keep
you want to
quiet.
laugh about it, it's a bad thing. But if I thought you was do that, do inside your head and just be smiling with yourself.
Yes, and don't make someone else feel less of themselves.
Do you understand? Because the aim of you making somebody feel less of themselves is to make your own self feel
Feel
better.
better.
That's it. And it doesn't work. So if I thought you must hype yourself. You don't need to involve somebody else. You don't need to start comparing and constructing.
Yeah,
Leave hype
true.
yourself alone. Don't need to bring another person to it and be saying, look at this person. The person reached me. No. All those things are not necessary. Necessary.
So, what word of advice do you have for other dark skin girls out there still contemplating to bleach their skin, still trying to be who they are not?
You can't really change somebody's mind except they want to. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
people do what they want to do, not
they
because
want
you are
to.
asking them to or not asking them to. You can just tell them that I think you're beautiful. I think you glow. I think that there's no other you and you're the only you out there. And I think that what is
Mhm.
yours will come for you and you'd attract, you know,
People
whatever
of like
belongs to
minds.
you.
Yes.
And I feel like walk that walk, talk that talk. At the end of the day, people will adjust and they'll be like, I like your brain. Then it doesn't become a thing of, oh, because of you are this, you are that. People look
Yeah.
beyond the outer and they look. My sister said I like your brain is actually wrong. But basically
Yeah,
you
I get
just
the point.
we like what is inside your head because
Yeah,
you get it. But at the end of the day, people would adjust. They would appreciate you for you, not because
exactly.
of what you look like or the skin tone and all that. So they should just do them. They should remember that they are beautiful. And if they are not sure, they should look at the mirror. They should keep looking at the mirror and tell
Yeah,
themselves
just
that you are
I'm
beautiful.
beautiful.
You are beautiful. Keep saying it, even if it means typing it. See, sometimes I can just go to my notepad and start typing just to hype myself. So I would remember in case I want to forget, in case I want to be stupid and forget. I type it. By the time I type it and read it and open Snapchat, you understand? And hype
Yeah.
myself again. Okay. My head will be
So
set. Yeah, but you cannot. It has to be. They have to decide first. Because if they
yeah,
don't
that I want
decide that
to.
they are contented, then it doesn't work. They will still do what they want to do.
So,
Yeah.
so we've come to the conclusion that black is actually very, very beautiful. It is dark, it is rich, and it is beautiful. So thanks so much.
Mm.
Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for doing this with me. I really do
You're
appreciate this.
welcome.
And I'm very sure our viewers to appreciate this a whole lot. And this serves as an inspiration to other dark skin girls that you are beautiful just the way you are. You are
Mm-hmm.
unique. You are just so blessed. Like God knew if he gave you this, if he's giving you this dark skin, that is what suits you best. So if you're changing it, I don't know. I don't know. You're just so perfect like that. And that is why I call you Black Diamond. And you never failed me. All right, so next time, I hope you'll join us sometime soon next time. We love
Yeah,
you.
sure.
Personally,
Bye.
I love you so much. Bye.